There are some things that should never leave the out. Things that one should fundamentally change how someone sees you forever. Not because they are shameful or wrong, but because they destroy the very foundation that attraction and respect are built on. Today, I'm sharing the why secrets that no matter how close you get to a woman, no matter how much you trust her, you should never reveal. Not because women aren't trustworthy, but because these relations trigger psychological responses that destroy attraction and respect, are often permanently. I'm warning you now. The fifth secret is the most dangerous one. It's something every man struggles with, something that feels natural to share, but sharing it is like detonating a bomb in your relationship. Once you reveal this, there is no going back. This aren't about being deceptive or dishonest. Here about understanding human psychology and protecting the very things that make relationships work. Let's dive into what should stay in the vault. 1. Your deepest insecurities and self-doubt. The first secret you must never share is the full extent of your deepest insecurities and self-doubts. While vulnerability is important in relationships, there is a crucial difference between sharing growth-oriented challenges and unloading your complete catalog of fears and inadequacies. I learned this insight through my friend Jake, who was dating an amazing woman named Lisa. They had incredible chemistry, great conversation, and what seemed like a rock-solid connection. But Jake made the mistake of sharing every single insecurity he had during what he thought was an intimate bonding moment. He told her about AJ's fear that he isn't successful enough, which is anxiety about AJ's serpents, AJ's worry that he isn't good enough for her, AJ's concern that other men were more attractive and capable than him. He thought this level of vulnerability would bring them closer together and show her how much he trusted her. The result was devastating. Lisa began to see him exactly as he saw himself, as insecure, inadequate, and uncertain. The confident, attractive man she had fallen for was replaced in her mind by someone who couldn't even see his own word. The relationship ended within a month. It is a psychological reality. When you constantly express deep insecurities to a romantic partner, you are essentially asking them to carry the emotional burden of reassuring you about your worth. This transforms them from a partner into a therapist, and attraction rarely survives that transformation. 2. Your complete romantic and sexual history. The second secret that should stay locked through is a complete detailed history of your romantic and sexual experiences. While some discussion of past relationships is normal and healthy, sharing too much detail about previous partners creates problems that can never be fully resolved. I witnessed this mistake through my friend Marcus, who believed that the complete transparency meant sharing everything about his past with his girlfriend Sarah. During a late-night conversation about previous relationships, he went into detailed stories about his girlfriends, what they were like in bed, specific things they did together, how those relationships ended, and even comparisons between Sarah and previous partners. Marcus thought this honesty would build trust and intimacy. Instead, IT created insecurity, jealousy, and mental images that Sarah soon get out of her head. Every time they were intimate, she found herself wondering how she compared to each as he has. Every time he mentioned a family friend, she wondered about their history. The detailed information that was meant to bring them closer actually created distance and distrust. It is the psychological truth. Too much information about your past creates mental competition between your current partner and your previous ones. When someone has detailed knowledge about your romantic history, they can't help but compare themselves to those experiences, usually in ways that create insecurity. Rather than confidence. The appropriate level of sharing about your past involves general themes and lessons learned, not specific details or comparisons. You might share that you value the importance of communication from past relationships. But you don't need to share intimate details about how those relationships functioned or ended. 3. Your moments of weakness and breaking points. The third secret involves those moments when you have been at your absolute lost. When you were cried uncontrollably, hit panic attacks, felt completely defeated, or been overwhelmed by life to the point of complete breakdown. While these experiences are part of being human, sharing the full extent of these moments can fundamentally alter how you perceive them. I learned this lesson through watching my friend David's relationship change after he shared his breaking point with his girlfriend Emma. They had gone through a period of intense stress. Job loss, family problems, and financial pressure all hit at once. During this time, he had what he described as a complete emotional breakdown that lasted several days. When things stabilized, they decided to share this experience with Emma in detail. He told her about crying for hours, about feeling completely hopeless, about moments when he saw and stopped shaking from anxiety. He thought sharing this would help her understand what he'd been through and bring them closer together. Instead, Emma began to see him as fragile and unstable. The strong, capable man she had vowed for was replaced in her mind by someone who could completely fall apart when life got difficult. While she was empathetic and supportive, the fundamental way she viewed each strength and reliability had changed. It is a psychological reality. While everyone has breaking points and moments of weakness, sharing the full extent of these experiences can trigger protective instincts in partners that work against romantic attraction. When someone sees you as someone who needs protection rather than someone who can provide protection, the dynamic of the relationship shifts. Fire, your financial fears and money anxieties. The fourth secret that should never be fully revealed is the complete extent of your financial fears, money anxieties, and economic insecurities. While financial transparency is important in serious relationships, sharing every fear and anxiety about money creates stress and insecurity that damages the relationship dynamic. This lesson became clear to me through my friend Chris, who was dating a woman named Jennifer. Chris was doing well financially, but he had deep anxieties about money stemming from growing up in a financially unstable household. He worried constantly about losing his job, about not having enough savings, about not being able to provide for a future family. During what he thought was an important conversation about their future, Chris shared all of these fears with Jennifer. He told her about HAS anxiety attacks when paying bills, HAS obsessive checking of bank accounts, HAS fears that he isn't financially stable enough for a serious relationship, and HAS worries that she would leave him if HAS income decreased. Jennifer began to see Chris as a financially unstable and emotionally unreliable around money. Even though HAS' actual financial situation was solid, his fears became her fears. And instead of reassuring him, the conversation created doubt in her mind about their financial future together. She started questioning whether he could actually provide the stability she was looking for. It is a psychological truth. When you share deep financial anxieties with a romantic partner, you are asking them to take on emotional labor around money that isn't their responsibility. Financial fears are contagious, and sharing too much detail about your money anxieties often creates a very insecurity you are afraid of. 5. Your desperation for the relationship to work. The fifth and most dangerous secret, the one that destroys more relationships than any other, is revealing the full extent of how desperately you need the relationship to work, how much you fear losing her, and how empty your life would feel without her. This is a secret that feels most natural to share because it seems like the ultimate expression of love and commitment. But revealing this level of emotional dependence is relationship poison that creates the exact outcome you're trying to prevent. It is a devastating psychological truth. When you reveal how desperately you need a relationship to work, you transform yourself from a prison to be won into a burden to be carried. Instead of being someone she's excited to choose, you become someone who needs her to choose you. That neediness kills attraction faster than almost anything else. Women want to be with men who want them but don't need them. They want partners who would be disappointed to lose them but won't be destroyed by it. They want to feel chosen by someone strong enough to outgrow the relationship that doesn't serve both people. So there you have it, the 5 secrets that should never leave the out. Your deepest insecurities and self-doubt, your complete romantic history, your moments of total breakdown, your financial fears and anxieties, and your desperation for the relationship to work. If this video helped you understand the difference between healthy vulnerability and emotional dumping, hit that subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever shared too much too soon? How did it affect your relationships? And remember, the strongest relationships are built between two complete people who choose to share their lives together, not between two incomplete people who need each other to feel whole. Keep some things in the vault. Your relationships will be stronger for it.